While everyone was watching South America potentially form a lithium OPEC, China quietly built something far more powerful, an 80% stranglehold on the world's lithium processing that makes OPEC look like child's play. This isn't about mining rocks in Bolivia anymore. This is about who controls the batteries that power everything from your Tesla to America's electric grid, and the implications are staggering. Here's what most people don't realize. China doesn't need to own the lithium mines to control the global lithium market. They've done something much smarter. While holding less than 7% of the world's lithium reserves, China has secured an 80% share of global lithium chemical production. That means even if the United States mines its own lithium, it still needs China to turn that raw material into something actually useful for batteries. Think about this for a moment. OPEC controls roughly 40% of global oil production, and we've seen how that can disrupt entire economies. China's lithium dominance is twice as concentrated, and lithium is arguably more critical for America's economic future than oil ever was. Every electric vehicle, every renewable energy storage system, every piece of modern technology depends on lithium-ion batteries, and China has positioned itself as the gatekeeper. The scale of this control becomes even more alarming when you look at the numbers. Contemporary Amperex Technology, or CATL, China's largest battery manufacturer, alone commands 35% of the global lithium-ion battery market. To put that in perspective, that's like one American company controlling more than a third of all the oil refineries in the world. When CATL recently shut down just one lithium mine in China's Jiangxi province, global lithium prices surged 20% in 3 weeks. One company, one mine, 20% price increase globally. This didn't happen by accident. Back in 2015, President Xi Jinping introduced the Made in China 2025 plan, identifying lithium-ion batteries as one of 13 strategic sectors for global leadership. While American companies were focused on quarterly earnings, China was playing a decade-long game, systematically investing in every segment of the battery supply chain while securing upstream resources through strategic investments worldwide. Here's where it gets really concerning for American interests. China's approach differs fundamentally from traditional resource cartels. They don't just mine lithium, they control the processing, refining, manufacturing, and increasingly, the end-use applications.
This vertical integration creates multiple leverage points that make it extremely difficult for other nations to bypass Chinese influence, even if they develop their own mining operations. Consider the recent market dynamics that showcase this power. Despite global lithium demand increasing by 24% in the past year, prices have collapsed by over 90% from their 2022 peaks. This isn't normal market behavior. It's what U.S. officials are calling strategic market manipulation. Jose Fernandez, the U.S. Undersecretary for Economic Growth, Energy, and the Environment, has accused Chinese producers of flooding the global market with lithium, causing predatory price drops designed to eliminate competing projects. The strategy is brilliant in its simplicity. Keep prices artificially low to discourage investment in non-Chinese production capacity. When Western mining companies can't compete with subsidized Chinese production, they delay projects, cut costs, or sell assets, often to Chinese buyers. It's a self-reinforcing cycle where market volatility, whether naturally occurring or artificially induced, tends to concentrate more control in Chinese hands over time. Meanwhile, South America's much-publicized efforts to form their own Lithium OPEC face fundamental structural problems. The lithium triangle of Argentina, Chile, and Bolivia holds 56% of the world's lithium reserves, but their production levels tell a different story. Chile produces 140,000 tons annually. Argentina manages 33,000 tons, while Bolivia, despite having the largest reserves, produces only 600 tons per year. This massive production imbalance makes coordinated action nearly impossible. More importantly, unlike OPEC's state-controlled oil companies, lithium production in South America is carried out entirely by private companies, many with international ownership. You can't form an effective cartel when you don't actually control the production. It's like trying to organize a union when most of the workers aren't even your employees. The Chinese dominance extends beyond just lithium. They control 95% of manganese processing, 73% of cobalt refining, and 70% of graphite production, all critical materials for lithium-ion batteries. Even if American companies could secure their own lithium supplies, they'd still depend on Chinese processed materials for nearly every other battery component. This has created what industry experts call the lithium paradox, rising demand coupled with artificially depressed prices that discourage investment in alternative supply chains.
The result is a dependency that goes far deeper than most Americans realize. When you plug in your electric vehicle, you're not just buying electricity, you're participating in a Chinese-controlled supply chain that extends from the mines of Chile to the processing plants of Jiangxi province. The national security implications are profound. China now operates the world's most liquid lithium trading platform through the Guangzhou Futures Exchange, which launched in 2021. Trading volumes there dwarf international competitors, with the exchange handling 24 million tons in July 2025 compared to just 17,000 tons on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange during the same period. China doesn't just control lithium production, they control price discovery for the entire global market. Recent events have demonstrated how this control can be weaponized. Beijing's campaign against involution, excessive competition that drives prices to unsustainable levels, provides Chinese authorities with tools to shut down operations while maintaining production at state-backed facilities. The CATL mine closure, officially attributed to permit expiration, coincided perfectly with Beijing's effort to reduce overcapacity and manage global supply levels. Looking ahead, the investment requirements to break this dependency are staggering. Industry analysts project that $514 billion in investment will be needed by 2030 to meet global battery demand, with $51 billion specifically required for lithium production. However, Western countries face higher costs and stricter environmental regulations compared to China, making these investment levels even more challenging to achieve. Lithium mines can take 5 to 25 years to become operational, while processing facilities require technical expertise that has largely migrated to China over the past 2 decades. The consolidation trap is already evident. Multiple Western lithium companies have announced project delays, workforce reductions, and asset sales during the current price downturn. These distressed assets often become acquisition targets for Chinese investors, creating a self-reinforcing cycle where every market downturn strengthens Chinese control. The country transformed from a raw material exporter into a dominant processor, forcing global companies to invest in domestic processing facilities or exit the market entirely. This precedent has significant implications for lithium, where similar dynamics could emerge if major producing countries coordinate their policies. The combination of Chinese processing dominance and potential resource nationalism in key producing regions creates multiple vulnerability points in the global lithium supply chain that could be exploited for geopolitical advantage. The United States and its allies have implemented various policies to reduce dependence on Chinese critical mineral supply chains, including the Inflation Reduction Act and European Union Green Deal industrial targets. However, these policies face significant implementation challenges. The primary obstacle is the enormous capital requirements and extended development timelines for alternative supply chains, coupled with Chinese companies' proven ability to circumvent restrictions through complex ownership structures and strategic positioning in friendly jurisdictions.
What we're witnessing isn't just market competition, it's the emergence of a new form of economic statecraft that combines traditional resource control with advanced industrial strategy and financial market sophistication. China's success in achieving dominance over critical mineral supply chains provides a blueprint for resource control in the 21st century that could reshape global trade relationships and economic security calculations for decades to come. The lithium OPEC that no one saw coming is already here. It's just not the one most analysts expected. While South American nations continue discussing coordination that may never materialize, China has built a comprehensive system of market control that spans extraction, processing, manufacturing, and end-use applications. This vertical integration creates leverage points that make it extraordinarily difficult for other nations to develop truly independent alternatives. For American consumers and policymakers, the lithium experience offers sobering lessons about how quickly supply chain dominance can shift and how difficult such changes are to reverse once entrenched. The question isn't whether this affects you. Every time you charge your phone, drive an electric vehicle, or benefit from renewable energy storage, you're participating in this Chinese-controlled ecosystem. The real question is whether America is prepared for the long-term implications of this new resource hegemony and what we're willing to do about it.